general surgeon who established the fact that it is cancerous. And oncologist is not the first person. Based on the fact that you even said, the person said it is not cancerous, no doctor will send you. That's why I'm interested to know the doctor. No doctor will send you to an oncologist with a non-malignant result.
Like I said, you go into the hospital. I noticed a lump on my boobs.
Was it Lagos or Enugu? Because
I was in Enugu.
Okay.
So I went into the hospital.
Was it a teaching hospital?
No, it wasn't a teaching hospital. It was a private hospital.
Okay, and it has an oncologist. That private hospital has an oncologist.
Let me explain.
Okay.
So walking into the hospital, you go to a normal doctor. I don't even know what they're called, but you went to a doctor. He examined. He found the lumps.
Okay.
That was when he said, "Let's do a biopsy." I don't know what a biopsy is.
Without an imaging?
No.
That's very strange.
No imaging. Because
is that possible?
It's not possible. It's not possible because biopsy is very invasive. Nobody will grab your breast and just do a biopsy without an imaging.
There was no imaging.
Was it the left breast or the right breast?
The left breast.
Okay.
Okay. So they didn't do an imaging. They just said go for a biopsy. It was when I went for the biopsy. It took about by
Was
then.
it painful?
What was the biopsy process like?
Yes. What was the process like?
Explain to us.
I think they put in. I think they gave me a little. I don't know if it's anesthesia to like numb the pain a little bit. Then an incision close to the nipple.
No.
And what came out?
That's not the procedure. We don't do an incision.
I don't know what, but something went into my.
Okay, so
my results are
you
here.
saying that's false? It's not possible to.
No, yeah, it's not. It's not sounding like a fine needle. It's not sounding like a core biopsy. It's not sounding like a fine needle. We use a needle. It's a needle.
This one is like a how do I put it? Why would you call it a machine? I don't know the right terms.
Oh, listen, you're
You
mixing
people use
things
it.
up. We don't use machine for biopsy as well.
That's
It's an
what-
invasive procedure. We use a needle.
Something
needle-
went into my boobs. They brought out some. I think
Where,
they said
what part of your boobs? Was it
Exactly,
your
what type
nipple
of
or
your-
was it?
the lump was found under my boobs. It moves sometimes. Sometimes it looks as if it beeps. And so I think around that place. I think they said they bring out. I don't know if the particle of the lumps are thereabout. That's
With
what
a
they say.
machine?
Yeah, they took for the biopsy. I'm
With a
not.
machine.
Sorry, is
Maybe a
that's
pin.
No, it's
medically feasible.
No, it's a long needle.
Maybe
And
that's
it
what
has a
it's-
trigger.
Okay, what's the
It's like
size
a
of the
mini
wait,
gun.
what's the size of the needle they used for you? If you're going to estimate it,
How do I?
is it like 2
say
inches long, 1 inch long? How was the needle?
I was lying down, so not like you're seeing exactly what is happening. And I'm not in the medical term, so I don't want to say the
Listen, I'm
things.
sorry to say this, right?
Go ahead.
You, I saw that you studied economics, right? Okay, fantastic. I, interesting enough, I dropped econs for further maths because economics was very, very detailed and very, very. So as someone that studied econs, I would expect you that if you have a life-threatening diagnosis, you should know it in and out. Because when I see patients with chronic medical conditions, they know their condition in and out. Like sometimes they even know new researches that I have not even heard of because they are trying to survive. I find it very strange that you're mixing radiologists, oncologists. I feel like it's something you should know. It is
No, it's not something I should know because cancer is not something I am aware about. I've said it
no,
over
but
and
you've
over
been
again.
given this. It's been 2 weeks since you came out to talk about this, and you mentioned stage 4. That was the first video I ever saw from you.
Yes, that was
stage
the-
4. How did they come about that stage 4?
I'm not supposed to know, so maybe at this
It
point
is
we're going
your
to
life.
That's what I'm trying to say. At this point, we're going to be asking the medical doctor. So when this whole shenanigans came out on social media, everybody just say, let's get a second and a third
No, but
option.
Okay, so let
how
me
did
say
you know it was
something.
stage 4?
Exactly, how did you know you were
How did
stage?
you
Because he
get
seems
stage
quite
4
confident
analysis?
with that stage 4.
Because that was what I was told. I'm not a medical
How is it
doctor.
possible to say you have stage 4?
Was it that same Enugu doctor?
Yes.
Is this on your report?
Exactly.
She's willing to show the doctor.
I will share.
Yes,
I will share.
I don't.
Okay,
I'm
I'm sure
interested
I will
to see.
share.
So this is your stage 4 report. Is it the doctor that told you that it was stage 4?
Yes, the
By the
doctor
time you
said
went there the
stage
second time.
Yes.
But what,
Just based on seeing you was when you calculated that it was stage 4.
I do not know them. I don't want to say
what
things
do you
that-
understand? Because if someone tells me something, right, I would go and read up on it. Right. So what did you understand by stage 4? Because I'm assuming that you don't want to die, right? So if someone tells you stage 4, it sounds advanced, right? Or you don't know that.
Yeah, that's the reason why I broke out on social media.
Social media to
but how did you
answer the
get to
question
stage
for
4?
you. What was social media? What was your goal on social media?
Now, as a medical practitioner, when they tell you you have cancer, it's already traumatic alone.
Okay.
I didn't even have the guts to go and start reading. In fact, the major reason I came on social media was I wanted to see people who have experienced the same thing.
Yeah, but the big question is how did you conclude that it was stage 4?
Stage 4,
Did the doctor
exactly.
just look at you and say, oh, this is stage 4?
She's willing to share the report.
Yes.
Why not allow the doctor to look at it?
That was
Okay,
what I
doctor
was
can look
told.
at
Yes, I'm very interested.
Can she look at it?
That's what I was
And let me
told.
ask you, as a lawyer, if someone publicly claims...
It's interesting that you're bringing the same results to me because Dr. Odigwe, the pathologist that signed this report, because of course we have
Is it the same report as the one that was...
Yes, the pathologist that signed this result lives in Asaba. And I'm a doctor, of course. I can trace any doctor in Nigeria. And I called him on Tuesday.
Sorry,
and he knows
is
nothing
that the
about-
same report
Yes,
that
it's the
you
same
saw
result.
last
It's the same result that is going
Okay,
around
that is
social media.
post, but it's around.
And this particular pathologist said he knows nothing about this. And he is based in Asaba, not
The
Enugu.
pathologist of the report?
Yes, of this report is based in Asaba. I know that for an absolute fact.
So he told you
That's the
after?
first one?
Yes, because, yes.
He told you that he has nothing to do with it?
Yes, and he stays in Asaba. The address here is Enugu. He hasn't been to Enugu in recent times. He lives in Asaba.
So how do you respond to that?
This
Let's
pathology
go ahead and-
stays
like
in
I
Because
said,
they say that the
Asaba.
pathologists that you put in that report, which you claim
That
is your
signed
real
this report stays in Asaba. That I know for an absolute fact.
Please, I want
on
to ask
Tuesday.
again.
Go ahead.
Is this report the same report that we saw last week?
Yes, it is. It's
So
the
this
same
same
one.
report that we saw last week, that blessing you claim you didn't post on your Instagram page, on your social media page, is the same report that guy,
Yes,
the guy that
exactly.
we saw on the video, which unfortunately they have not been able to show us, is the same report he printed. So
Absolutely.
this is your real report.
So that's the
What
first thing.
happened to the brother of the girl who claims that this report was forged?
I don't know who the person is.
So it's not a fake report.
No, it's not a fake
But the brother of the girl that you just saw just now says this report is his sister's report.
It's not.
And this doctor stays in
So are you
Asaba.
saying, and number one, you're saying it's, you don't know that man. Number two, you're also saying you didn't post this report
I didn't.
to the guy who just spoke on social media.
Absolutely.
But for some coincidence or some funny reason, the reports tally. The report the guy posted and the
Perfectly.
report here, they are totally the same,
Same.
word for word.
You
are
know,
now
this doesn't
saying
tell us that it's stage 4.
But you
by
are
the
not
way.
even saying the oncologist whose name is
No,
there.
the pathologist.
The pathologist whose name is there said he
He
doesn't
lives in
know her.
Asaba and he doesn't know anything about this.
So let's see what do you want to say about
Diagnosed
that.
cancer?
No, so the way it works is that, you know, in medicine there are different fields, right? So the process for a person that comes with a breast lump, you don't know what it is. So the first stage is to go for imaging. You come back from imaging. Right now, the modality is to do a biopsy, fine needle aspiration biopsy. Even if it comes out benign, you have to take out the lump. You
So
cannot
that
go
was-
because you
it
cannot
should
be
have
very
taken
sure.
out from the
Yes,
regardless
but
of whether she wanted it or not.
That
it
is the
is not your
carelessness.
choice unless you discharge yourself against or you do it against medical advice. It's not likely. You cannot come to me and you said you're not ready unless you're not medically fit. Maybe you're very sick, you're pregnant, you're not medically fit. Well, it's a if they're thinking it's benign, it's a simple surgery. It's not invasive.
Okay.
It's a day surgery. Some people go home that same day. They do go home that same day.
No, but you see, right now it is they are conflicting. There's already inconsistency because on one hand you are showing her the same report that was displayed last week. Listen, I'm talking to you.
Yeah.
You are showing her the same report that was displayed last week. Meanwhile, you're saying you're not the one that sent it to that guy.
I have not seen the result
Yeah,
that
but,
you there.
but there was a
She sent out
screenshot.
another-
Yes, so like I
So you
said,
have another report to show
everybody
us.
says, okay, go for an open option. So I went to Lutz Cancer Center, to do the same stuff. So they gave me a couple of.
What did they give you?
I did my whole stuff. So they asked me to
What
do
are the
What are the
stuff?
stuff? Because you need to be more.
Oh.
You have to be very, very specific now, please.
I'm not a medical doctor.
But you can't say that.
you have an ailment that is
Yeah, exactly. It's life threatening. You can't say that.
So
Yes.
so these are the tests I'm running. So maybe when the
Running
test,
not that you have run.
no, they just asked me to.
So by stage 4, shouldn't you have already run those tests?
They didn't ask me to run this, so it is not my fault.
I know, but I'm curious as to how you came to stage 4 conclusion
That was what I was told.
without any tests being done.
I mean, this doesn't prove anything, unfortunately, because
What's that report that you
it
have
just says a series. It states a series of tests that she should carry out.
If what?
It's just a series of tests, chest X-ray, that we do to confirm metastasis, right? But this is not solid enough because I can enter LastSwift right now and write anybody's name and write this series of tests, right?
The result is not out.
This is not a result, exactly. So results will be more
So
exactly.
let the result come out. I can now come back and show it to you people.
Okay, first
So
I
as a
want to
second
ask,
option.
because right now, the area is still very grey, and I really think that we need to dig deeper. Because cancer is not a joke by
It's
any
not,
standards. So I want to ask you, in there, if someone publicly claims a serious illness and is later proven false, especially after receiving sympathy or financial support, what legal consequences arise? And does the law distinguish between deliberate deception and misinformation where money is involved?
Thank you. I think the first point I want to make is that as human beings, it is only natural to be empathetic. If somebody comes on record and say, I have been diagnosed with cancer, the person goes further to even say stage 4 cancer. I'm not a doctor. I'm happy we have one here who is very brilliant and knows her stuff. But for me as a lawyer, if I hear stage 4 cancer, that sounds life-threatening to me. So the first issue that aroused my curiosity is that the victim, in quote, or the two, a blessing who is here, I had to review some of the videos she has put out. And I did not see somebody who is sober, so somebody who has been diagnosed with cancer. Cancer victims that I know she's a very outspoken person. I give that to her. She's very vociferous about her views. But if you are diagnosed with stage 4 cancer, there should be that immediate, instantaneous
Curiosity.
sobriety, calmness, reflection. But when you are diagnosed with stage 4 cancer and you are still on social media antagonizing people, it is expected that people will want to know, is this really a cancer patient? Cancer is not a joke. Secondly, I listened to the defense she has put forward. I'm actually again quite amazed that she has come on a rise to defend herself. And I just hope that what she has said is true, because if you are coming on national television to reassert what you have said on social media, if subsequently it is found that what you said was not true legally, that can be very perilous, because you are basically telling Nigerians that, look, I am willing to go to any lengths to defend myself. Now, what could be the implication, assuming that our claim is shown later not to be correct? Don't forget, she has just presented a medical report to us. She has obliged us, and you notice I was very interested in having the doctor look at it. The doctor has confirmed that, to the best of our knowledge, substantial facts in that document is not correct. The most relevant being the name of the doctor. A medical report is only a report if it's authenticated by a doctor.
Which the doctor has denied.
Yes, the moment it is like the judgment of a court. If I come before you now and say I got a judgment from a court, the most important element of that document that will show that this is a judgment of a court is to look at the name of the judge who signed or wrote or read the judgment, who delivered the judgment. So where she says she has spoken to the doctor whose name is on the report, the doctor has disclaimed the document, the doctor and the location of the doctor is also being contested. That worries me. So Blessing will have to offer explanation on the origin of that document. Now, under the law, if a person is found to have obtained money under false pretenses, that itself is a serious matter. It is a crime that can be prosecuted. Those who have made donations, I am not making conclusion here. I'm just giving broad, generic commentaries. Those who have made donations for Blessing on account of a public assertion, on account of a representation in the public that she has been found to have stage 4 cancer, if it is later confirmed that this is not true, they can sue her for deceit, which is a tort. They can sue to recover the money. So I hope that Blessing has spoken to a lawyer to advise her on the gravity of what is at stake. This is not just a matter for social media debates. This is not just a matter for bloggers to trend with. This is not just a matter that is trivial. This is a matter that has serious implications. This is a matter that even the medical doctor whose name has been associated may file an action for defamation.
And also the woman who claims that she's the original.
There are series of implications which I have highlighted. The doctor whose name is associated may have a cause of action, and I am hoping the doctor will actually come forward and begin to address the issue. Okay. The Medical and Dental Council should be interested in knowing how a doctor's name appeared on the document where somebody said I have stage 4 cancer, and that document is now being disputed, so that if she was misled, if somebody gave her that document and say, oh, on the basis of this document, you can establish this claim, that person should also come forward to explain how he or she came about. If the doctor truly did not issue that document, Blessing has to explain who gave it to her, where the person got it from. So, are we looking at potential forgery here? Are we looking at altering documents here, which is a crime? Are we looking at obtaining money by false pretenses? Are we looking at the thought of deceit? These are the legal issues. So, I hope and I pray that Blessing has truly appreciated that this is a serious matter. Okay. And I want to say again for the record that as human beings, it is expected we are empathetic. I'm not here, and Blessing, you are not on trial. We are not persecuting you here. We are just seeking clarity because you have gone on public to seek funds. Ruth, I have raised money for Nigerians. If you follow me on social media, I have raised millions and millions and millions of naira for many Nigerians in the last few years. There is no single instance. In fact, I've raised money for people that have medical issues. There is no instance where I have gone on social media to use my platforms to help people in need raise money without being specific on what the money is required for, without substantiating the purpose for which that money is raised. So you owe the public an explanation. It is not enough to say, I cannot put out my reports. Right? People have donated money. I don't know how much it is, but people have donated money. They deserve some accountability. They deserve a cogent response. And for me, at this moment, I am not satisfied. She said she has gone to Lute. At this time, Lute has recommended tests. Lute has not made a diagnosis. No. The evidence she has shown to prove the diagnosis has been discredited. So my conclusion as the lawyer at this material time is that the claim of a cancer diagnosis has not been established.
Okay. We're going on a break. So let's leave this on